of that?
Thank you very much. And we'll just speak straight the truth, what happened. Nobody audited. There was security of LCC on the ground because I of LCC that night when I saw it. And what he said to me that because of the curfew that has been announced, they took a decision and said they would installations that are critical to them. That camera that you saw, it's not a security camera. That camera that you saw, it's not a motion camera. It's a laser camera for vehicles. When you are approaching the toll plaza, you will remember that there's a camera that's at the level of your car. What that camera does, it picks the tag on your car and it picks your number plate. That's where you get the boom before you approach when you're on the fast track lane, and you get the boom up so that you can pass. That is what that camera does. It's not a security camera. It's not a camera for human beings or something. It's an infrared camera that just picks the tag on the vehicles. And that's the truth. Security cameras for the local toll plaza are still available. These are some of the footage that we're going to use for our own investigation. Security cameras are installed on top of towers, and they are there because I have seen them, and they are live. They're still recorded. Nobody can touch the security camera. That's why they're called security. The camera that they pulled off, it was a decision that the local security company, the local personnel of LCC took in conjunction with their managing director, and said that because we're not going to be here, because it's a curfew from tomorrow or from tonight, these are cameras that are low levels when you are driving approach, especially on the left and on the far right hand side. When you're driving, those are the cameras that you see close to your car, right? That picks the infrared, the tag, infrared on your vehicles. And anybody can come, and these are things that we can transparently leave open for citizens to come and verify when the panel of inquiry starts. We'll drop this as evidence, as it were, so that experts can review and see what kind of cameras are these cameras that were shown at the footage. And I think that is the honest and the truthful position of that. I don't have anything. I mean, the managing of LCC does not even have a reported line to me. I don't talk to him, he doesn't talk to me. The second question around the lights. I understand there is also a concessionaire that manages the LED board on top. They are the ones that have the concession agreement and have the right. I saw a letter, like any other button said, the company said that they pull off the lights because of the curfew that the state government had put in place. Those were their own reported, those were their own point. I've never spoken to the owner of that business, not in the last 1 week, I've never spoken. So there's no communication that will reflect that we influence of. That was a decision that a corporate organization took, right, and said that because of the curfew, they are taking down, their LED screen from the toll plaza, and that was what they reported, and that I believe was the reason, for them turning off the LED screen. I think your second question.
Yeah, at what point will you get the military probably, to even apologize?
Absolutely. So the gentleman that was holding the mic and was restraining and encouraging the kids, that's an officer that I spoke to almost all the time. He's a commodore, in the Nigerian Air Force. So that is the kind of reportage that we want to see. That's the kind of collaboration that we want to see on our street. We want to see a real engagement, a real partnership between the security formative and the citizens that they were meant to be protected. That should indeed be a clear example that everybody needs to emulate, without being forced, without being controlled. This is something that should form, our relationship going forward, right? In terms of apology and rest of it, I think it's work in progress. I will continue to apologize. I will continue to engage, at the highest level that they need to do that, and for us to begin to see real closure all of this matter and be able to see real, genuine reconciliation along this matter, but I will not stop at anything to ensure that I continue to apologize everyone, to all of us, on this line that we find ourselves. They already reported to me. So what we should now do is to be sure that those cameras are kept under lock and key and that nobody have access, to them. But I'm aware, I know that those cameras are tracker cameras, and in the event of any tampering, experts will get experts. I'm not even a camera expert, so I'm sure you are not. So we'll get experts, experts in this area that will see, if they are tampered, if there are things that I'm sure they won't be able to see, because they would have back-end reported, they will have, off-site, softwares that I'm sure will be available to be seen, and when they start, these are some of the ways in which government can indeed continue to show real transparency, real transparency, and I can assure you, that at the highest level, I will ensure that nothing is left undone.
Mr. Governor,
a transparent process.
Mr. Governor, when is the investigation going to start into the Lekki incident?
Respondent fire officers were also attacked, and so they all had to run for their life. You saw that emergency management service, LASEMA, their building was also touched in Lekki. Their other building in Kappa, we had to send reinforcement there for them to be protected, and so they also couldn't come out, right? All of those high-moving vehicles, right? There were attempts to actually burn those vehicles yesterday, so they had to retreat back. So, like I said, we have pictures to show that our fire trucks were damaged, they were destroyed. Every attempt they made to want to come out, the various levels of protesters were met on the road, hoodlums, and they had to retreat. One or two, I think about 3 fire stations too were touched, and there are evidences to this. And so they had to retreat for the safety of their own men. I was still on the phone with the head of the director of fire service. I think it was around about 4 or 5 o'clock last night. Trying to be sure that her men are safe. And so she said that they all had to scramble to safety. I'm very unfortunate. So that's why you didn't see them. They were all prepped up to go out, but each time they want to, they met protesters along the line, and so they had to retreat, and their vehicles were damaged. To your first question, I would be very careful and with what I say. There have been reportage, there have been communication, there have been audio communication that we've seen, that we've heard, that connotes or suggests that there's more to the endsars that all of us thought. But like I said, I cannot begin to make extensive comments. I cannot begin to make comments that might also sound as insensitive. I think these are the work of the security operatives. I'm sure they are also in possession of some of these materials, visuals, audios that we've seen, and it just goes to some quarters that we need to investigate some of these happenings deeper than what we see, out on the street. And like I said, it's a work of the intelligence officers, security operatives, who will be able to dimension and ascertain clearly, what they make out of this. Somebody in the political space, it's a source of concern for us. It's something that we also need to sit back and reflect and digest and truly look at our social, political, commemoration. How are we relating? Are we so far off from the reality? These are very deep thoughts that have been pounding through my mind in the last 48 hours.
Mr. Governor, as we begin to wrap up, what do you see as the way forward, the road ahead? And what's your message to the people of Lagos State and Nigerians generally at this point?
Thank you very much, Dr. Abati. I think we're at the point where all of us, as a people, as a state, as a nation, need to come together now more than ever before. We're at a point in which the national anthem that indeed we all sing every day, the green, white, green flag that we all hold on every day, needs to be put to test. We need to re-engage ourselves and bring ourselves together. We need to heal the several wounds, deep wounds that we've created for ourselves. We do not have any other country. This is our country. And everybody has as much right as the other person. And so we need to understand and know that the stronger we are together, the better we will remain as a country. In Lagos State, we, not just by word of mouth, are the most resilient, forward-looking economy in our country. We cannot put to waste what our forefathers, generations before us, have put in place. We need to preserve these things. We need to know that indeed we can build a future for the future leaders that are coming behind us. We need to end any form of anger. We need to end any form of protest. We need to end any form of bleeding, confrontation, and let's start a real healing process. Because this is what Lagos is. This is the place that we do not discriminate the color of your skin, the religion you serve, or your ethnic nationality. We are one. We are together. And that's what we truly should stand for. And so as your governor, it's a very tough time, but it's a time where leadership must indeed stand up and stand out. So I want to call on everyone that we should please use this opportunity, use this time to engage one another and to come together so that indeed we can take our state forward. We can heal our wounds. We can have true, real, genuine reconciliation. And we can build a Lagos that indeed will be a greater Lagos for all of us. I'm committed to that. I will not stop until I achieve that. I have a mandate, your mandate, to ensure that I create an enabling environment for all of you, for your businesses to thrive, for security of life and property. And I will not relent in that activity. I can assure you that you have all of my energy to continue to serve you humbly and to continue to do the best for the interests of all of us. It will continue to be the greatest good for the greatest number. And that's what I believe in. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Governor of Lagos State, for giving us this opportunity to have this conversation with you around latest developments in Lagos State and Nigeria.